So the first step on this particular mirror cube is also same as the 3x3. What you'll notice is the centerpieces. So this, the centerpieces, they don't move. They move in respect to each other, but they don't sort of move out of place. You can't sort of move this one around to here or anything. So if you have a quick look at it, and you notice this one is quite long, and if you can see the top one there, it's quite deep. It's quite short. So that's essentially the short side, the medium side, and then the longer sides there. So I usually do the fatter side first. So they do the fatter side on the bottom. So you hold the little one on the top. And what you want to do is you want to find a piece that matches up with one of the side pieces. So if you just move the top around, so you notice, okay, here we go, see that's flush, so that's going to fit. So what you do is that fits flush there, so you want to have it, quickly just move it to the bottom and see if it fits. Okay, that doesn't quite fit. Okay, so it's not, that means it's not in the right spot. So you can move it back up to the top, have a quick look, move it around, it doesn't fit any of the other ones. Okay, but it does fit this guy. Okay, so you can see here it's actually flush here and flush here. So essentially that piece is in the correct position. Okay, so we'll move around, we'll find another one. Here we go, flush, down, aha. So flush here and flush on the bottom. Okay, so the first step, what you want to do is you want to get, this is the bottom we're looking at, you want to get the cross. So you want to get here and here. That's basically the first step. So this one, don't move it, it's now in the right position. So you want to have a look for another piece that matches up with one of either this piece, well, that one's done, so this piece, or the one on that side. So actually, we're having a look here, you see this one's actually flush. If you can see that, it's actually flush there. But obviously it's too tall for the top on there, so you bring it down. Okay, right, I hope you can see where we're going with this. It's actually flush there, okay, and then if you look at it on the bottom, it's flush there and flush there. So that is actually in the correct position. So let's try and find another. It's probably going to be that piece there, which is kind of awkwardly placed, but that's alright. Let's have a quick look and see if it's any of the other ones. Right, okay, we'll say it's this one. It's hard to sort of tell with the size of the pieces, but you can see it's not orientated correctly for me to be able to tell. So what you need to do is kind of just move it down, move it to the side, bring it up, rotate it over, okay, and then put that side back down again. Okay. If this piece here was in the correct position, you would have had to have put that back down, otherwise you would have moved it out of the correct position. But as you can see, that's clearly not the right piece, not a big deal, but it's a good habit just to make sure that you put, when you move things out to move a piece out of the field of motion, it's a good idea to put that piece back, otherwise you're just going to end up going round and round and round in circles. So you can see this one here is flush, bring it down. There we go. So you can see we've got sort of a T part of the cross there. We haven't got the whole cross, so we still need this sort of fat piece that goes here, which you'll probably find is going to be this guy. So you'll notice it's actually, with its outside piece, it's flush. Bring it all the way down to the bottom. Perfect. Right, so now you can see, if you're looking at on the bottom, we've got our cross like this. Flush, everything's flush, they're in the right position. Luckily, this guy here is actually on that one too. Cool, so they're actually in the right positions. What I might do is for the next video, I'll just get those two out, just so I can show you a few times how to get these corner pieces in, which is essentially the next step, getting these corner pieces in. Alright, let's go. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually taken those correct pieces out, just so I can show you more times on how to get these correct ones in. Let's have a look and find, what do we want to look for? What you want to look for is the size of the pieces. So this is going to be the smallest, next biggest, and then the largest one goes in that side there, because you can see that the gap is bigger than those ones. So if you have a look for the biggest piece, because that's going to be the easiest way to do it. It's probably going to be that guy. Maybe that one. It's pretty big too. We'll say it's this one. Okay, it's a little bit bigger. It's on the bottom. Okay, which is fine, but you want it to be in this position here. So to get to here, you've got to move it all the way to the top. So it's on the top layer. Move it out of that field of motion that I spoke of before, and then, as I said, you've got to make sure you replace any pieces that you move to get pieces out. So you want to maintain that cross the whole time. What you want to do with this biggest piece is you want to, well, with any piece in this step, is you want to have it above where it needs to go. Okay, so this is where it needs to go, right here, and this is where the piece is. It's above it. You can see that there. So what you want to do is, with it above it, you want to have a look at it. It's going to have a longer side and a shorter side. Okay, so it's got a longer side here and a shorter side. You want to have the longer side pointing towards you. Okay, so you don't want to have it this way, because that's got the shorter side pointing towards you. You want to hold the cube this way, so the longer side is pointing towards you. When the longer side is pointing towards you, you want to check it's either going to be on the right or it's going to be on the left. Pretty straightforward. So at the moment it's on the right. So when it's on the right, in this particular instance, it's on the right, you want to move the top to the left. Okay, so it's on the right, move it to the left. Okay, move the right up, move the top back over, and then move it down. Okay, so it's four moves, pretty straightforward. 4 moves. Okay, so we'll have a look at this one. I think this is the next biggest one. We'll just do this again. Pretty sure that one goes there. So you've got a longer side and a shorter side. Okay, so longer side and a shorter side, so you want to have it facing towards you. Again, it's on the right, so you move it to the left, move it up, move it across. Okay, and you can see here it's actually flush. Okay, so you know it's going to be slotted into the right spot. Okay, and then you put it back down. Okay, I'll just show you a couple more times just so we can get that going. We'll find another piece. Let's have a look. No. And when it's going to be a corner piece, obviously, because it goes in the corner. So it's going to have 3 silver pieces. So don't bother looking at these ones where you can see this one's only got 2 silver bits. There's no point looking at those ones. You only got to look at the corner pieces. So you got this one. It's probably going to be these 2. They're about the right size. Let's have a look. That one's smaller, so that's probably going to go here. Okay, so normally you'd go, okay, there it is. It's above where it needs to go. What steps do I follow? But you've got to make sure that you've got the longer side pointing towards you. So holding it as I'm holding it now, it's not going to do you any good because you're holding it wrong. Here we go. It's above where it needs to go. You've got the longer side pointing towards you. This time it's on the left. So if it's on the left, what you want to do is you want to move it away. So you want to move it to the right. So you move it that way. Move the side up that you want to slot it into. Move the top back over, and then move it down. Okay, I hope you can see that. Right, let's go again. Next step, where are we? That's probably going to be that one there. Longer side, pointing towards you, it's on the right. Move it to the left, move the right up, move that over, and slot it down. Right, there you go. You've done the whole bottom layer. Yeah, pretty straightforward, I think. Let's move on to the next step, which is doing the next layer. Basically, all of these middle pieces are already in their correct positions. Okay, so you've got to get your 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces you've got to slot in. That's it. Alright, so that was sort of one of the easiest parts. This is where it starts to get fun. Side pieces, right, so these are the pieces that only have 2 silver bands, not the corner pieces that have 3 silver bands. There are actually, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8 of them left. 4 of them go on the top and 4 of them go in this middle layer. So you'll find that 4 of them are going to be bigger than the other 4. So you can see these little teeny ones, they're not the ones that we're going to be using for this layer. This one's quite a big one. It's on the top layer, which is good, which is where it needs to be. What you want to do is, you want to try and match it up with one of these sort of side pieces here. So you can see it doesn't match up. That's way off. That's pretty close, but it's not quite right. Keep bringing it around. Right, perfect. You see that's flush. Okay. Now you just got to use a little bit of visual acuity here. You've got to go, okay, does it either go here or does it go here? It's going to go either side, either the left or the right. I think it goes on the right. Okay, so let's just say we want to test that theory. We want to put it on the right. Again, with the last sequence of moves, you've got to move it away from where it needs to be, move the pieces up, so it's pretty much exactly the same. So here we go here. So it needs to go to the right, so you move it to the left, lift up this right side, bring the top back over, and then bring the right down. Okay, now you'll notice that it's flush here, and it's flush on the top. So it's essentially it's in the right spot. And then we just kind of just revert back to that previous step that we did with the longer side pointing towards you, it's on the left, move it over to the right, lift up the left, bring it back and bring it down. Okay, and what you've done is you've basically just slotted that piece in there. So it's one step and then the previous step from the last, putting the corner pieces in the last step. Alright, let's grab another big one. Here we go, on the top. Okay, let's turn it around till it matches up. No, not quite right. Here we go. Now, it's not going to go here because that one's already in the right spot, so it must go here. It needs to go to the left. If it needs to go to the left, you move it to the right. Okay, lift up the left, move it over, bring it back down. Okay, move the top back over, bring it down. Now you notice here, it's flush, flush. Perfect. Longer side pointing towards you, it's on the right. Move it to the left, lift up the right, move the top back over, bring it down. Okay, so you've slotted those 2 in. I hope this is making sense. It's pretty straightforward. It gets hard once you get to the top layer. So we've got this bit here, it's flush already, perfect. It needs to either go here or here. It's quite a big piece, that's a bigger slot, so we'll say it needs to go there. This is, so it needs to go to the right, so you move it to the left, lift up the right, move it over, bring it back down, flush, flush, perfect. Longer side pointing towards you, that's the way you want to hold it. It's on the left, move it to the right, lift up the left, bring it back, Okay, bring it back down. Right, so you just slotted that piece in. Perfect. Next piece. It's probably going to be this one because I was saying the biggest pieces are the ones that go in this layer. Here we go. So let's just rotate it around. Does it fit there? No, it doesn't. Does it fit there? No, it doesn't. Does it fit there? Pretty good. Right, and it needs to go into this slot just here. Okay, so it needs to go to the right. Move it to the left. Lift up the right. Move it back over. Bring the right down, and you know it's flush, flush, perfect. Got this longer piece here, longer piece pointing towards you. It's on the left, so you move it to the right, lift up the left, bring the top back over, bring it down, and there we go. So that's how you slot in those side treasures there. Now, on to the top layer. Yay! Alright, so what are we doing? Top layer. Right, cool. So it's going to be, when you first look at the top of your cube, you're not worrying about these corner pieces, you're only worried about the ones that are in the middle. So it's similar to how we got the cross on the bottom, you want to get the cross on the top. And you're going to have a look, and of the 4 pieces, you're either going to have just the middle one facing up, and all 4 of them are going to be sort of pointing up like this, or you're going to have it as I've got it at the moment, where these 2 are both facing you the correct way, so you can see it's sort of like an L. You're either going to have it in a horizontal line, or you're going to have all 4. It's the same algorithm that you do over and over and over again to get from the 1 to the L to the bar to the cross. You just basically keep doing it over and over until you get to the cross. You just have to hold it in a certain way each time that you do it. So for instance, if you have the dot, doesn't matter, just do it. If you have the L, you need to have one facing away, you need to have one facing to the left, so similar to as I'm holding it at the moment. If you have the bar, it needs to be horizontal, it needs to be this way, so you can't have it sort of facing, you know, that way, it won't work. So I'm up to the L, so I've got it here. So the sequence or the algorithm that you need to do is front, right, up. Okay, right prime, up prime, front prime. Okay, so you notice now I've got the bar, which was the next step, and then if I do it again, which I'm about to do, it'll then give me the cross. Okay, so you've got the bar horizontally, so it is front, right, up, right prime, up prime, front prime. Okay, so now you can see I've got the cross. Okay.
The thing does it as well.
What, when what?
When I move this.
Yeah. Magic of television.
Ooh.
Mummy's leaving.
Why don't you leave us alone?
Because we're nerding out in here. Do you want to keep mixing this one up?
Okay, I'll keep trying.
You keep mixing that one up. I'll explain how to do this next step, okay?
Okay.
Listening? Alright. So, what you want to look at is you've got the cross here on the top, and you've got these ones that are flush, this one and this one. Okay? So again, you want to have ones that are flush. You want to have one facing away from you and one on the right. Okay? You will have sometimes one here and one here. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
You'll have one here and one here. You don't want to have that. Well, you always want to have one away from you, but you always want to have one on the right. And the sequence, when you're ready, is it is right, up, right prime, up, right, up, right prime. Okay? Now if you swindle around the top one, you'll notice that all 4 here, this one, this one, this one, they're all flush. So they're all in the right spots. And that's how you get the top ones in the right spot.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. Should we move on to the next step?
Yep.
Okay. In the same cube, we're just going to have a look at the next step. So the next step is, you've got these 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You've got to get them into their correct positions. So you see the little one?
Yeah.
It's got to go in the little slot, which is there. So, the algorithm is to get this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one to over here.
This one to here. So whenever you do this,
Yeah.
the one that's here, the one that's on the top right hand side, it'll always stay in the same spot. It won't move. But the other 3 will rotate around. I think it's either clockwise or anti-clockwise. We'll find out in a second.
Okay.
The sequence is up, right, up prime.
Hey Dad.
Yeah.
I was closing my eyes and this is exactly how I wanted to mix up.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
How are we going to do that?
I don't know.
Alright, we'll have a look at that later.
I probably do Up, prime, right.
Alright, let's just quickly finish this one off. So it is up, right, up prime, left prime, up, right prime, up prime, left. Okay, so it was anti-clockwise. Okay, so we need to do that one more time. Okay, so we put the little one in its corner, so it went from there to there. Now it's going to go up to there. You watching? We're going to do it one more time. So it's, how's it go again? Up, right, up prime, left, prime, up, right prime, up prime, left. Okay, so now you notice this little one. It's actually in its right spot. And luckily you'll notice 1, 2, 3, they're all in the right spots now. So they're in the right spots, they're not just not orientated correctly, because this one you got to give it a bit of a twist, and this one you got to give it a twist. But the other, these two are already in the right spots. Okay?
I just keep messing it up every time I'm trying to fix it. Now you're ready to do that one.
Well, we'll finish this one off just quickly. So whenever you have these two, or you'll either have all of them need to be rotated, or one of them. Just pick this top right hand corner, so this one here. We're going to do that one first. Basically how you rotate it is right prime, D prime, R, D. Just keep doing it. Right prime, D prime, R, D, right prime, D prime, R, D, right prime, D prime, R, D. Right, so you notice that one's in the right spot now. It's flush. So keep holding the cube in the same way, and you just rotate the top to the top right hand corner, so it's back in this spot here. And then you do the same again. Right prime, D prime, R, D, right prime, D prime, R, D. Now you can see that one's flush, and it's in the right spot.
It's done.
It's done. Finished. Easy.
Now it's easy.
Alright, now what do you want to do? This one?
No, not this one. This one we'll do at the end. No, that one we'll do at the end.
This one?
No, that one. The big one.
The big one?
I'll mix that up a little bit.
Okay.